All right, there we go. Welcome back. So, let's do a little bit of polish and oh Jesus, okay, let's not look at that. Let's pretend that doesn't exist. Let's do a little bit of polish on this. So first things first, I actually want the hands, the climbing animation to start a little bit lower, mainly because I want to show some of the hatch a bit more. And I want to add some details to it. Like there will be a little water exhaust that's spewing some sludge and then some overgrowth coming out of it, that sort of stuff. I want to, make it a pretty shot. So this is going to be tricky. Hopefully not too tricky though. Let's see. GX 50. We're going to move it over by 50 frames. Now, in 50 frames, okay, it looks like, let's see how high it gets in, let's say, 100 frames. Okay, so that's 100 frames. GX 100. Okay, so what we can do is we can move this down. So we know we moved it by 100 frames. We've got to keep that in mind. And let's take anything and everything that we have to move. Let's move it down. Let's make sure we enable record. Like this. Maybe even like this. Okay, and the idea is to make this a bit more scenic. So there's going to be stuff to distract us from this whole thing. And then if we're really going to be bothered with it, we can always just make a skip function that allows you to skip it after your first try, first playthrough. Right. Okay, so we're supposed to keep this. I don't like the fact that it's just slowly ramping up. Ooh. Location Y, right. So this is going to be already in full swing, like that. And then we're just going to repeat the same process we did before. Place a keyframe anytime we reach a step. Okay, just for good measure, I'm going to make the hand be in the grasp pose already. Okay, if I can just select the frame. Hello? Come on. There we go. And then from... Okay, so from that point on, it should just keep where it's at, which is right here. As long as we make it keep where it's at. Okay, now the camera is going to pan up much sooner. Looking right about here. Antoine. Hello. Now this kind of means that we are not going to be able to see a lot of the animation. Hmm. Okay, by this point, I'd like the hand to actually grab something. Sure, this would have to be this way. For what is this animation? When players play arcade mode for Dreadtail, they have to emerge into the map somehow. And since this is going to be 4-player co-op, we're going to have each and every player arrive to the map in a different way. So the first player arrives by coming out of the storm drain. And we'll have different animations for different players. And it'll randomly choose which one. Okay, do we have enough time on the screen? Hmm. Okay, I'm not sure why wrist twist has to be persistently in every single animation. Okay. Okay, so let me also do the prop up. Okay. The Bezier curves are going nuts right now. What do we have here? Oh yeah. That is definitely not the kind of curvature I want. Sheesh, man. Select this. Okay, let's make sure we can only see one thing. I do want this to be enabled, I just don't want it to be visible. Okay, let's do easing type automatic. Okay. Seems like it might have also applied it to the wrists. Don't want that. Unless all I have to do is just shift this a little bit. Actually, no, that the poses don't make sense. Stays here. Okay. Okay, that's the clench. think I would want this to reach the next piece before the camera pans to it. Okay, do we actually see the lamp? Huh. Looks like we can only have enough time to see one of them, unless I position one right here and just have that one be the lit up piece. Okay, this is a bit of an awkward pose. Let's add some motion here. But we're going to rotate around the cursor so it like swivels. Like this. Hey, that works. Okay. Sadly, the rest of the animation that we made earlier is never going to be seen because the camera is just not looking at that part. Ah, boy. Oh well. It's all part of the learning process. Right, and then this whole thing is, it's about 400 frames long. Okay, right, left. So right, left. Which means it should start here. Left, left, right. left. Right. Okay, that's perfect. Just making sure the rhythm is the same. Maybe we can have the head do a bit of a bob in between. Except it's a little bit too frequent. Hmm. Okay, one sec. Okay, this would be on the x-axis. This would be rotation 2. What's with the clicking noise? What's happening? Why is Blender making clicking noises now? You can hear that too on your end. It's really annoying. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to make the head go down. Okay. Nice. Okay. That seems to be a bit more dynamic. Light kit incoming. Sounds good. It's going to be handy in the introduction area. Okay, so that is good. Okay, that's a little violent. Are we switching 4.3? We're already on 4.3. I just haven't pushed. So evening time, I'll push it and we'll be on 4.3. Okay, so that's good. Now, I think we also had an issue where a shoulder was bugging out a little bit right up on this entry. Oh, yes, it was. You want me to stay on 4.2? Okay, fine. Update it to 4.3 because Antoine is impatient. Nancy. There you go. Proper spelling and everything. Okay, that's it. It's pushed. You can fetch. Okay, so did you see the locker? Not yet, but I'm gonna be using it in one of these intro locations. It's supposed to be a train station tunnel service. There's gonna be some stuff in there. Okay, so there we go. That's fine. We don't need the prop. We do, however, need to export. Detail, engine, models, player. There we go. Cool. Oh yeah, we need to make sure that we adjust the animation of the lid, which is in the other project, by 100 frames as well, in order to make it line up. As soon as this thing decides to export, of course. Okay. Any day now. My God, man. Still working. Jeez. It's really random too when it does that. Okay, would you please just do it? Crying out loud. What are you exporting? Are you exporting the... I think it's exporting the high definition version of the hands. God damn it. I should just move that thing to a different project. Just double check this. I'm not even going to go to Godot. Visible objects only. No. It shouldn't have exported everything. So let's go to Godot Engine, which has crashed, so that's lovely. Circus Afro, Circus Afro. Holy shit, this is taking a while to load. There we go. Oh, yes, and we're also scanning for this stuff. I think that's just routine notification of what it's doing. Okay. And then it's going to get stuck loading the main scene. Maybe I should upgrade the new computer. I haven't... Oh, okay. I have a Core i10 that's sitting in the box that would be perfect because it's not too new and it's not too old. Core i5 10th gen. I think it's 10th gen or 11th gen. Core i10 would be awesome, but that's not a real thing. Okay, cool. Now the hatch should be not up to date. So that's not gonna open at the same time. Mm-hmm. Oh yes, I've also sped up the animation to make it a bit more hectic. Oh, there goes. Right. We didn't offset the animation, so it would have played sooner. Got it. GX100. Nice. And then export this. Okay. Okay, there's barely anything in the scene. Why is this one taking forever? There we go. Okay, I'm gonna slow this back down to maybe 1.3 times the speed. Climbing that meat ladder. Mm-hmm. Damn it! I just closed. Damn it, son of a gun. Okay. Well, let's go through this process again. Opening up the project. Loading up the nonsense. Seriously, there's supposed to be some sort of like a confirmation window that says, "Are you sure you want to close it?" The problem is that every time you run the project, it saves everything. So it closes assuming that, oh yeah, you saved everything. You probably want to close it. Sure. Great. Now I gotta wait for this crap. Okay. Well, that's loading. Let's go over here. Get this comically large Super Mario Brothers style pipe. Maybe. What I want isn't quite this. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, that's the idea. Now, we gotta submerge this idea into this place. Okay, let's see. Where's the handle? Handle's over there, which makes sense. Project files are longer to load but easier to play with once loaded. I have no idea what that means. Okay. Okay, so we actually walked past that thing way too quickly to appreciate it. Hmm. Okay. Mm, feels like it should be more than enough time. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's do the following. Let's make an environment which is basically entirely made for inside, which I think we might actually have one. Outside, inside open, inside dark. So let's do this. Okay, that's more like it. Except the lamps aren't making any, aren't producing any light. Ah, that's because they need to be powered. Actually, we don't want both of them on. Okay, so let's get rid of the environment. For the sake of just this one light, this one scene, I'm actually going to reduce the area of effect. And then this one, I just want to see what this looks like. So we'll disable it entirely. And we can't see anything there. Probably disable shadow casting on our hands. Okay. Hmm. Not bad. It's doing something. We need to do something here. Oh yeah, we should probably make it so that we cannot see the brick wall on the other side. Okay, now how lucky are we gonna be if we can just reuse the vines? We have blocking vines. Nope, not it. Some other stuff. What is it? Growth? That's not mine, is it? Okay. Objects. So props, foliage. Inner vines? Is that it? Okay, not quite. Although I think it would be nice to have something along here. But those are not the ones I'm looking for. Vine Plains. That's what I'm looking for. If it dares to load. Okay, unless Godot is currently busy creating the new temp files, these load times are not really acceptable. I don't know what improvements they've made, but this has taken forever. Okay, so if I drag this again, that seems instantaneous. If I drag a new one, that seems instantaneous too, but that's because it's using the same material. Which, by the way, should probably make it double-sided. Okay. Great, I love it. Compiling materials. Okay. So the handle is in the shade. Don't want that. I want the handle to be lit up so we can see it. Except we don't want it to do so by rotating. Mm-hmm. The vent that I made for the safe room with steam blowing. Yeah, but that's a bunker prop. I wouldn't really want to use it for, like, sewer. Okay, there we go. And now the handle's in the light. That's good. Mm-hmm. Not bad. Okay, cool. I think maybe having a little bit of light might be helpful. Let's actually run the game and then see if we can make another environment type. As a matter of fact, we have an environment type. It's the evening or the day. Dusk. I know that you can create holes in the terrain with terrain 3D. Man, why does everybody keep saying that like I'm some sort of an imbecile? I know! I've seen the updates. Everybody knows. Okay. I suppose once we have a texture here, it's actually going to be easier to see. Right now it's just flat. We need a texture for the pipe, this, the hatch, everything. Okay. We need to figure out the meat ladder thing also. I'm not sure not sure what happened to the texture here. Okay. Perfect. So that's one of them. Let's do vine plane, big one. Oh yes. Okay, let's do just a quick effect of something, some sort of water going down. I'm not gonna get too stressed about it. Something nice and quick. What do we do? Quad mesh, quad mesh. Okay, let's make sure we got enough divisions here. Yep. Okay, that looks good. And then the rest is pretty much going to be sheathed through a shader. Now let's do a coded shader, that's fine. Shaders, do we have a folder for shaders? We do not. Sewer water stream. Cool. All right, let's start by having some sort of a scrolling texture. So we're gonna do uniform sampler 2D noise. So we can supply a noise texture. This will be a, whoops, not a gradient. We're gonna be using the built-in algorithm. And then here, albedo is going to be using the noise texture with the UVs. And that's going to be outputting the data onto the plane, if it works. Vec3 and Vec4, right. RGB, because there's no alpha here, so we need to omit it. There we go. Cool. All right, what's next? We need black to be transparent, so we can do alpha. I guess we can just do this here. Vec4. Final color. And then we don't need the RGB here. We're going to pull the RGB in here. And then alpha will have, I guess, just red. You're just going to use the red channel. Nice. Okay. Not bad, but that's not everything we need. We also need to make it so that the edges are faded out. So we can do uniform sampler to D gradient. Let's do dual gradient. Okay, give it a gradient texture 2D. And this is going to be made, I guess this only gives us 2 points to work with. So we'll just do this. Black on either side, white in the middle. Okay, so now vector 4 dgrad for dual gradient. Texture. Oh, we want dual gradient here. UVs for coordinates. Okay, and then we are going to multiply this by, let's say, the red channel of dgrad. Nice. You can see the edges are just getting substituted. Okay, now we can also use this gradient, in this case, to offset the pixels a little bit. So we can do vertex equals vertex, which is just equals to itself, except what? Except, can we, I guess we just need to get a gradient in here. Sure. And then we're gonna do, oops, plus vector 3. And then we're gonna be adding, I guess this is actually where we add red for the X and then 0, 0 for the Y and Z. Okay, now I can't quite tell. Oh, it might not be X, it might be a different axis because we're in local axis. Because we had to rotate this thing, so it might actually be Z. Yep, that might actually just be it, except it probably pushed it way too far. Yes, okay, so it does work. It's just very, very big. Nice. Mm-hmm. Okay, we can dial it in a little bit. It's not really a curve, though. That's a bit of a problem. Hi, how are you? Doing pretty good. What about yourself? Okay, this is too straight because the gradient is straight. We need to make it more curvy. So I think maybe instead of doing this, we're gonna do sine. Let's do pi. Except this has to be incrementing, so pi times or plus vertex on the x-axis? Z-axis? No. X-axis by the looks of it. But it is constant, so multiply 0.1. Okay, I just completely destroyed it. Okay, so I can see the curve going from here to here. So we just need to get Interesting. Okay, let me do this. I'm gonna put time here for a sec. Which is going to offset it all at once. Times vertex dot z. Oh, not times. Plus. X. Oh, there we go. So now we have a wave. And this kind of tells us what dimensions we're working with. So let's times 3. And we're going to multiply this by 0.1 to reduce it. As a matter of fact, this could actually be useful for the effect itself. Okay. Let's speed it up. 12. Nice. Okay, now I don't want the top to be doing that, so we can do this by doing uniform, sampler, 2D, vertical gradient, and we're going to supply it with another gradient 2D, and I think we just keep it this way. Yes, okay, keep it like this. Nice. Okay, so it's a vector 4. We're going to create a texture using the vertical gradient data mapped to the UVs. And then this offset is going to be multiplied by the red channel. There we go. And as you can see, the further down it goes, the stronger it becomes. Except we have this thing, which seems to be... seems to be doing something. We don't want to repeat. Maybe it's the filtering. Filter nearest. Yeah, nice. So no filtering. Okay, but we can clamp the effect a little bit closer, like this. Beautiful. This seems hard. If you do it a bunch of times. Like, what is this? 4 lines of code, really? It's just multiplication. That's all I'm really doing. Just using time or vertex coordinates to offset it. It's pretty simple stuff, man. Okay. So that's good, except now we need to make sure that the water physically goes down. I'm just going to hide it behind the leaves. Okay, so we're going to add vector 2, 0 time. Well, that's not the right element. This one. Cool, except the wrong direction. It's also receiving shadows, which is interesting. Nope. Okay, not bad. I can take this data, back 4, water, and then we can also use this to offset. So let's do water.r plus. Okay, it's very steppy. Funny thing is, if we use this, I don't think we're going to need to use the sine wave. Quite literally just stick with this. Okay, let's try it. Just gonna leave that right there. Let's multiply by 0.1. Except we want to multiply it by the vertical gradient. There we go. Okay. It is doing it, but it almost seems a bit redundant. So maybe we can bring a little bit of that. Just a little bit of that. Let's see, do we multiply or do we add? I think we gotta add. Interesting. It's not really the effect I was hoping for. Okay. That's fine. Now, let's give it a color. And give it a source color hint so that we could select it. Sludge color. Well, that's not right. Source color? Oh, no. It's got to be a vector 4. Yes, there we go. So now it's a color value. Give it the green, and then we're going to take final color, multiply by this color. RGB. RGB. Nice. Okay, so that's multiplication. So the hue isn't quite there. Funny thing is, we don't actually have to use the black and white texture. We could just use the base color by itself. And the black and white texture just acts as the alpha. Okay. There we go. RBG. Oh! I wrote RBG. That's interesting. That is really interesting. You can toss around those values. In that case, we can work with this. Let's do something like this. Okay. Specular. Roughness. Okay, so that gives us a bit of reflection. Nice. Metallic. Just a little bit. Nice. Okay, now the water itself doesn't cast any shadows, but I wonder if we can do something like alpha hash scale or scissors threshold. Let's try this. And then now it casts shadow. It doesn't look too good though. But nothing says we can't have two of these. Set this to 0. What's gonna happen? There's just nothing. Okay, what if I set it to -1? Is that a thing? No. Okay. So what can we do? Hey, this looks like the water from Outer Wilds. They use Alpha Scissor a lot in their special effects. We could do 2 layers of this stuff. Let's see here. So take the mesh. Okay, I'm gonna push it out. That's the second one. Now we need to make it so that one of them does Alpha Scissor, and the other one's just a regular piece. So they need to have unique properties. Okay, we may have to make a resource unique. Let's make a uniform boolean cut. And then we're gonna do if. Usually you're not supposed to put logic into shaders, but no, it's a special kind of day. Okay, it's not complaining about it, but it doesn't mean that it's correct. Where did the material go? Is it that invalid that it just nuked itself? No, okay. Cut. Maybe the sheer presence of this property is causing it to be like this. Alpha hash scale. Anti-aliasing edge. Interesting. So just the sheer presence of this property in the code automatically changes it to a hashed type of shader. Well, that's unfortunate. So we can't really have like a boolean that turns it on and off. Okay, well, you know what? Fair enough. we're going to take this one, which is in the back. We're going to make unique. And then save it. Shaders. Stream back. Okay, that's stream back. And then this one, which is a copy. Quick load. Really? Oh, that's a material. We gotta load this thing. This one, yes, stream back. Let's do a save or quick load. Stream. Interesting. So the regular stream should have none of this. And they both change because they both use the same mesh. So you got to make one unique. Stream back. Okay. The material also has to be unique. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, now this means that we can mess around a little bit with the other one, which is this one. Let's say, for example, we're gonna comment out the scrolling for the time being. Okay, so we just see the static. Okay, we can do times vector 2. Let's do 2.0 and then 10.0. Okay, so you can see that gives us more iteration. Let's do 20. Okay, so that fits more of the texture. We don't need the Boolean because that clearly doesn't work. But I think we are gonna reduce the hash. Oh, that's increase, which works. Now, smaller UVs means faster time. Make sure it's a float. Okay, what else can we do here? Smaller roughness. Okay, so that gives us that effect. Oh, you know what? We can take the final color and then we can multiply it by itself, which is going to randomize the roughness. Shader looks cool. Thank you. I think we see too much repetition though here. So let's get that down to 10. Where do you go to find help with shader stuff? Docs. Now I'm just kind of working on docs. Started out as just me looking up various shader tutorials and trying to recreate them. And as you do that, you tend to just start picking up on certain things. Okay, I have an idea. What if we mark this? First of all, it's got to be seamless. And what if we mark it as a normal map? Not quite. Okay. See, we have this reflection here, but it's too even. Too even. So we need to offset it using normals. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Take noise, call it noise n. We're going to copy this resource, make unique recursive, so that it makes unique not just this resource, but also the sub-resource. We're going to mark it to be for the normal, for the use of normal maps. And we're basically going to take this, call it normal. It's going to be using the normal. And then we're going to say normal. I think it's normal map. .rgb. Okay. And I think that is distorting it. Yeah, I think that's distorting it. Let's see. Yeah, so right now it's very, very strong and stationary. And now it's kind of wiggling all over the place. Maybe we can set it to 2.0. No, not a thing. Vector 3 and float. Oh, normal is probably the input. Normal depth. You know what? We're doing it on the wrong map. Although that does actually reflect it. You can see the little tiny streaks going along the water. So that does work. But it only works at very particular camera angles. There you go. Increasing the roughness kind of spreads out the little sparks. Sparkers. Sparkuru. Misada Sparkuru. Let's get over here. Do the same thing. Copy. Oh, that's not the right property to copy. I need this one. Okay, and then luckily, we can probably just copy this. Copy. Go over here, parameters, paste. Okay. We are going to copy the creation of the texture. Let's just copy that part. Nice. Oh, hell yeah. That's looking good. Shaders feel intimidating. Shaders feel intimidating because they're very unforgiving. It's very strict, and you have to keep in mind your data types. That's the most important thing. Can't put a vector 4 into a vector 3. Are we crashing? No, we're not. Okay, cool. No. Lovely. I sure would have loved if that stayed on the screen for a little longer. Okay, what can we do for that? Okay, do I have to add more ladders? I feel like I might have to add more ladders. Okay, GZ2 minus. So that gives us an extra ladder here. Alrighty. So it takes about 50 frames to move across two steps. Okay, so we're gonna do this. GX 50. Okay, we're gonna take all our stuff. Move it down. And then just go through it and add one more climbing routine. We're gonna move back the camera stuff. I don't use root motion in any of the current projects, no. I think it will be used later in other projects. Okay. This. Shoulder. Where are you going? The shoulder just zooms past. Not good. We don't want it down there. Are you planning on matching the animation up with velocity? Nope. It's just gonna... Technically, the player is already up there. The kinematic body of the player is already up there. This is just an armature. And this is a scripted event, so the player doesn't need to do anything. Your animation has gotten a lot better. It's just the camera, man. It's the camera. Because the camera makes it feel like the whole body is moving. Okay. That is just zooming past. Like deja vu style. Which kind of makes sense. Oh. Just the first frame. I think what I should have done is started with something much more generic. Like a large body motion, and then exported it and taken a look at how fast it's moving, and whether or not all of the elements are in the right place. Okay, I think for this one we don't have to do the whole twisty thing. Just do it like this. that needs to maintain. Had issues trying to get root motion working. What was the issue? What the shit happened there? Where are you going? What? Oh, it's goddamn curve. Hmm. Playing the animation and just positioning the player mesh. Yeah, pretty much. I don't think you need to get too fancy with this sort of stuff. Not unless it involves other things. Okay, I think this leaves the view for a little bit too much. Okay, so by this point, the camera should really just look up. Which only happens right here. Okay, and then hopefully that's going to give us enough room, enough time to see the scenery, play some suspenseful introductory music. Shoulder. Okay, that could work. Now let's get the camera motion. So we'll get the keyframe here. Next thrust has to be in this direction. And then when it settles down, is that the right angle? It might actually have to be this angle. And then settles down a little bit straighter. I think the left and right rocking might be just a little bit too extreme. All right, let's just see what this looks like. Dreadtail, engine, models, player. Godot export. Now we wait 2 hours for it to export, as per the usual. What was the approach to doing root motion? There's a root bone, and there's a function to get the velocity of the bone. And then it just always repositions the root bone back to the beginning, back to the center, and then just returns you the offset. Is that right? And then you just use that velocity on the move and slide. Okay. This is exporting stage 2. It's the second boss mutation. Oh my god. There we go. Alright. That's only half the wait. Now we gotta wait for Godot to import it. Jeez. There we go. Okay. Now we can test it. Yeah, I have a Core i10 Core i5 10th or 11th generation that just sitting there, and I think that would be like a pretty good low mid tier. Damn it! Why is that not aligning anymore? Actually, I don't think that even played the right animation, did it? How many steps before the character looks up? 1, 2, 3, and then it does this. Okay, that's quite a lot actually. So am I sure that it's actually playing the right one? Okay, while that's happening, take this and then move it down by 1. So now we got an extra copy of this. Okay. I swear this thing drives me nuts. And it's random too. Sometimes it will export quickly, sometimes it will export in 2 hours. Go figure. Hey, there we go. Hands teleported up. I am technically also playing the animation at 1.3 speed. So that could be why I'm perceiving it to be so short. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. How long is this animation? It's not updating. Okay, so it is 19 seconds. It's 19 seconds long. Now, here, the animation is roughly 450 frames. And we are running 30 frames per second. So, 15 seconds. That makes no sense. Why is it so much shorter here? Actually, let's just go here in the arcade mode. Let's double check with the player directly. Okay, so we got misalignment already. But maybe that's because I moved the player. Oh, yeah. Oh, I definitely moved the player. That's why it's not lining up. Okay, how did that whoopsie happen? Player. The player seems to be in the right place. The armature has moved. No, the root bone is still there. Did the skeleton move? Skeleton says it's in 000. This is correct. Okay, let's do this. Before I do that, I should actually make a record of the location. Go. That's going to help us reposition the player back. And then go to the player. Nice. Okay, now the rotation helper is there, but at least the armature is in the right place. Unless it moves if I select the animation. Nope, the root bone seems to be in the right place now. And the hands seem to be lining up with the ladder, more or less. A couple places where they still fade through the metal, but the rest seems to be okay. All right. So it might be one of those weird cases of animation not being updated. Maybe I could just close and reopen the scene. Ready? Not gonna lie, I was kind of expecting to be done with all 4 animations today. We're just done with 1. Okay, there you go. So now we get the view of that thing on the side a little bit longer. That's perfect. That has to be offset by 50 frames. So that's because we extended the animation by 50 frames. GX50. Yoy. Looks great, thank you. Couple of kinks to work out. Suppose while we're here, we might as well do that. Okay, that camera jerk right there. Technically, it's not a camera jerk, it's the body moving up. Back. Yes. It is the back. I think I see it. Ooh, okay. Sometimes the basic curves freak out, man. Like, look at this. We're going to the moon. What the hell? Oh, man. Okay, so that's when we do constant. Yep. And then we could do Bezier. Just bring that back. Okay, and now we got X movement as well. Okay. Technically, we're not supposed to be moving left and right. Okay, and that right there. There we go. What are you trying to animate? It's an introduction animation. When the character enters the level, they have to enter through one of the predetermined animated locations. So that's what we're doing here. This one is the player entering the level through the sewer. Watch the location of the shoulders. You know what? This is just really far back. That's why the shoulder spazzes out. Hold on a sec. Let's bring this over here. And then bring this over here. Whoa. Whoa. Hey. Hold on a sec. Let's keep that civil now. Okay, let me do something with the camera as well. Left shoulder, we also need to do something with it. Okay. Cool. Even if we had to kind of reanimate the hands, because we kept moving them further down, we'll call it practice. Whatever. You know, yes, those animations will not be visible. That is okay. There we go. Okay, do we still have a couple places where the arms face through the stairs? A little bit. Hmm. can see just a little bit of phasing there. Let me try to do something here. I'm gonna take this. I'm going to select all the frames where we're climbing up, but only on rotation and only on the z-axis. We might actually want to do that here. So from 117 up to here. So somewhere this. I'm just going to offset it on the x-axis just a touch. So it has that like waving motion now, because we're not rotating all axes at the same time. Okay, not bad. Let's get back here. Push this back a little bit. And then what if I do this? Take this. Okay, as long as it doesn't have the crazy location Bayesian, which it just kind of does. Fix that up. Okay, that's cool and all. Let me try something else again. So let's take that head animation trick. Save. Did not like that. Rotation. So let me try that again, except I'm going to move it back now. Just make sure I pay attention to how this is moving back. Like that. So it's the same motion, but it's in reverse because it comes before the other animations, other frames. I believe the whole animation should be 500 frames now. Yeah, I'll think I'll leave it like this. Okay. Export. Did I just see something? No, I don't. Okay. Export it out. Here we go. Now this is going to give us an excuse to have some buzzing for the light and falling water effect, sound effect, and climbing sound effects, and some suspenseful music in the beginning. So cool. Adds a little bit of polish. Go. Export boss stage 2. Okay. Any day now. So, how's everybody doing? Gonna make some small talk. There we go. Yeah, never mind. Shut up. I don't care. Let's see. So that's exported, and I think we already extracted the other animation with the extra 50 frames. I guess we'll see. Just give Blender a second to update. There we go. Oh, cool. And we crashed. Okay, so nice. Love it. Love it. Okay. Let's launch that back up. Antoine says, the initial project load takes a while, but everything else is very fast. Yeah, it doesn't fucking help when the Godot fucking crashes every 5th import. It's only the first import. First open that takes a while. I swear I should just open the same project the second time and just have it sit in the background. In case the primary instance dies. I could just be like, oh, just switch to this one. What's that? New files? Yep, just load up those new files. Keep going. Alrighty. But for real though, how's everybody doing? Okay. Nice. Yes. Finally, we have the view of the falling water and the foliage and everything. I mean, I would probably put this somewhere on the line of BioShock animations, the first BioShock game, which is, you know what? I'll settle. That's pretty good. I can work with this. You know, it's only uphill from here for improvement's sake. We did learn a bunch. I do want to make sure that it changes environments, however, when we reach the very top. Because it is... Whew. It's taking a little dark when we get up there. The comfort 2D life. 2D is perfectly fine. Making AAA games. It's worth the crashes. Oh yeah. Okay, so quick little additions. On point. Cool. Oh yeah, these are looking like something I don't have to come back and redo from scratch. So getting that grind on. Grinding that XP. Animator's XP. Okay, so one thing that I need to do when we reach some point when the thing's opening, maybe even when we reach this and we're just about to grab it to open it, we need the environment to change to something that's a bit brighter, because we have to keep the environment dark, otherwise we have sky reflections inside of well, this place. So we gotta keep it kosher. Actually, hold on a second. What if I place a reflection probe inside here? And then we're just going to keep it like this. Just out of curiosity, this is an interior reflection probe. I don't really see that much of a difference. We don't have too many reflective surfaces besides the water. Oh yeah, I should also put a texture on these vines. Okay. Right. Well, besides the point. Let's get that environment change. So we get axis hatch. I think we're gonna have to do it. Let's assign a script here and let's do it that way. So scripts, scripted events. Okay. And what we're gonna do is make a function. Set arcade exterior environment. Put a pass in here for the time being, and we're going to make this save or allow us to add animation tracks to this animation. So that is hatch, axis hatch GLB. That's the one. We're going to take that hatch arcade intro, enable save to file, keep custom tracks, and this is going to be animation, armature animations. Yes, this is going to be arcade mode, and we're going to call this hatch arcade intro. So by doing that, it will allow us to add keyframes, custom keyframes. So we can do call method. We're gonna address this, insert a keyframe. There's the function we want to use. And then I think right about here, we can call it. Now, what are we calling? We have a global script we've set up called environment data, and env zone, current env zone is going to be set to, we have a special environment that we've set up for arcade, the start of the arcade. Safe room, arcade evening, that's the one. And that should be it. Oh. Okay, seeing a little bit too much blue. Hey, there we go. I mean, technically, yeah, that works. I am going to place this in the ground. Okay, we have the player align node, but we're going to make that a part of arcade access point. There we go. So it's relative to this node. And then let's just place it here for the time being. And we need to have a hole in the ground. Okay, the terrain plugin apparently has hole punching capabilities now. Let's see here. Create holes. That is too big. Uh-huh. Okay, so it's going to be very polygonal holes, which makes sense. So let's just do this. And we're going to go back to the hatchery. Let's expand this. Bring this down. Yeah, a little asymmetrical, but that is perfect. Okay, and then we can use Dimitar's railings to place some interesting shapes here. That's going to be perfect. Axis hatch, GLB. Yes. Okay. Let's give this a sec. So we just made that concrete piece a little bit thicker and larger so that we have extra room to cover up that hole. As a matter of fact, let's see. Okay, and that's a little weird. I can't rotate the camera under the terrain. Maybe it's the terrain tool messing with us. Probably, actually. Oh, weird. Okay. So we can use Control to paint the shape back in. We do also need to make sure there's collisions. So this is concrete dash call. Oh, I just retopologized it. Damn, the shortcuts are different. Gotta be careful. The heck is this? Okay, just gonna give it a triplanar map. Concrete rubble. Okay, these should not require UV mapping. Yes. Okay, now what the heck is this? Where did this come from? Oh, that's dang it. That's the reflection probe being stupid. Okay, alright, let's just get rid of that for the time being. Okay. Right, okay, this is the actual exit point, not this. I have confused the hatch. Alright, quick edit. Go. At least now it's exporting quickly. Beautiful. That's road railing, not what I need. Metal stairs railing, I think that's the one. Come on. Make your temporary files and give me the thing. There we go. Ooh. That's looking cool. And that's angular. This is a double. I can actually use a double here. Okay. All right. Nice. I love it. What happened? Oh, right. Okay, so because we moved the whole thing, the player doesn't line up with the exit point. But we made a record of the location of the player, where the player has to be. So what we can do, we have this player line. Okay, we're going to go here, player dot global transform equals player line global transform. There's a definite or limited number of these elements, so we can just do this hard-code it. That's fine. There's only 4 exit points really, or entry points into the level. Okay. Crashy, crashy. Assignment property key global transform with type transform 3D. Null instance. Play her. That would explain it. Okay, well now we have no excuse. Okay, so that's interesting. That works. We didn't see squat in the beginning, but that's probably because there's no light. There's no light source. So maybe what we're going to do is take this light source. We are going to keep it. We're going to make sure that it's on and powered. And we're going to push it down here. But let's reduce the range. Just disabling the environment so I can see. Keep it like this. Keep it light. Okay. Nice. The exit could be a little bit smoother. Oh yeah, and we need to lock the lid. Well, while we're here, okay. Just gonna take this. So yes, the lid does clip through the side. That doesn't matter because we're actually gonna make it so that by the time the player turns around, the only thing they can catch is the lid closing. So this lid close. We didn't really anticipate having the railings there. Mm-hmm. Protected. Okay. And then here, animation player. We're gonna do animation finished. When the animation's finished, if the animation that just finished is hatch arcade intro, then we're gonna tell it to play lid close. We still need to figure out why the other light isn't lighting up our way here. Okay. Well, I mean, that's already closed. Let's see here. On and powered are true. Okay, do we have a piece of code that messes with range? Generic powered item. No, there's one that does flicker light energy, but no range. Curious. Okay, well, we're there. We're just not seeing the light. Yeah, let me just blow this up. The second light is there. It's illuminating stuff quite well. Okay. Oh, I know exactly what the problem is. It's the flippin' fog. The height fog, not the regular fog. That's not good. We don't want that. Because no matter how many lights we place in, it's just going to keep making it pitch black. Dang it. I feel like they should give us some sort of a fog canceling volumes. You can do that with volumetrics, but not with regular fog. So we can exclude fog from certain locations. Okay. Environment data. We don't have height fog density. Okay. Fair enough. Let's add it. fog height density. What is it set to? 0.4472. And then we know that we start our game with just dark. Is it dark or arcade dark? I think it's just inside dark. So we're going to set it to 0.0. And then we need to add the code that actually transfers the information. Okay. Well, we crashed. It doesn't like it. 4. Oh, that's not good. The eternal spelling mistakes, man. There we go. Okay. Cool. The only thing is that right in the beginning, we want the speed. We want the speed to be, well, instant. We have environment transition speed, which is set to 100. Let's set it to 1, which should make the transition instantaneous. And then once we switch here, when we set the current environment zone, we can set the speed. Why don't we make a function for that? Let's do func set environment key, and then speed is 100 by default. We're gonna forward the speed here, and then the current environment zone key is going to be borrowed from here. So now we can go into the hatch and we can say the speed is 1, and then this is the environment we want to use. Actually, in this case it would be 100. And then this is located in environment data. Okay. What am I missing? Oh, there we go. Okay, that's good. But in the arcade mode, at the start, we're going to need to have it set the environment quickly. So the speed is going to be 1, so it's just going to be instant. The environment would have to be dark, interior, inside dark. This one. And then once the player has like a transition from black fade to view, we can obscure any sort of switching. Nice. There we go. So now we can actually see what's happening. I think we're phasing through that lid a little bit. Let me just double check that in slow-mo. All right, it's gonna take a while. This is gonna take a while. Oh no, it's gonna get me. Okay. Okay, take that. And then interesting. It looks like we're elbowing the damn thing. And I think I might know why. I think that is because we have a constraint bone or constraint on the hand, but we never actually moved it. Influence. Oh, you know what? I know what. It's because we never moved this animation by 100 pixels and then by 50 pixels, frames. That's why. And because we're using constraint, it has to actually move the lid in order for the hand to move out of the way. Okay, where is it? Temp, hatch, there we go. Yeah, this just automatically opens by itself. Welcome home, you trash bag. And then GX50. There we go. That's more like it. Cool. Now, hide it. Could always bake the animation, but it's kind of moot at this point. But okay. Now we wait to export. Are you still using Substance? Yes, for the majority of things, Substance Painter for texturing. I'm still on 2023 version, which is pre-AI shenanigans. Or at least I hope so. I hope they didn't sneak in some new TOS that I automatically agreed on. I'm pretty sure Steam would require you to actually present it. Maybe they did present it and I didn't read it and pressed yes. Damn it. Okay. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be upgrading unless they give some really interesting features. Okay. There we go. As long as the current one still works, yep. There's really no need to upgrade. I don't know why it takes this long. I am storing files on the mechanical drive, though. That could be it. Oh, okay. There we go. Hands to the moon. That's how we know it's done. Okay. What the? Why? Wait, why is everything missing? Texture's missing. Flippin' flimsy export. I don't know if it's the export or the import that's at fault, but let's just do that again. Mm-hmm. Oh, nope, still. It's a export boss stage 2. It's the second evolution, gotta wait through it. Did you go to college? I went to college for less than a year for concept art, at which point I only learned composition and, well, I think that's the most valuable thing I've learned. A little bit of color theory, some oil painting, and life drawing. Life drawing was very important. But it was under 1 year because I knew that if I was going to stay, I would have to go into student debt. And, holy shit. Good thing I didn't. In hindsight, 2020, with the COVID and everything and the nobody being able to work. Yeah. And, cost of living and everything just going absolutely through the roof. And the fact that you can't really file bankruptcy on student loans. Dodged a bullet on that one. You know. So that I just started learning programming and game dev on my own time while working some basic income part-time jobs for the sake of, you know, can't just be goofing around and doing only game dev. Got to bring some money in. Pretty happy on that front. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, with everything already passed, I do kind of want to go to college for electronics engineering, which is a totally unrelated field to game dev, but it's another passion of mine that I want to get a hold of because I can do game dev. I learned everything by myself in game dev, so pretty sure I can keep going with this by myself. But with electronics engineering, I want to get some proper background there. Okay, is this going to be misaligned again, or are we going to work now? And are the textures going to be here? No, textures are gone. We're also playing this at half the speed. Let's not do that. Okay, now player. What causes the misalignment? Oh, the hands are still here. The texture is. That's a little weird. Material is there. Okay, there's no reason for this to be this misaligned. Hmm. Come on. Literally nothing has changed. I think. Let's see. The root bone is still there. The alignment is still in the right place. Huh. Let's see here. Yeah, the hands seem to be properly interacting with the pieces. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Close this, close that, and close arcade mode. Open up arcade mode. If that doesn't work, I'm gonna restart the entire engine. And I will laugh my ass off if that actually fixes it. Okay. Didn't mess around with this. Player align. Okay, let me just insert player here because... Oh, that's curious. Player, I want the player root node to be visible. As a matter of fact, I'm only going to hide it in the code. Set visible to false. I don't know why I'm running this, but let's see. Sometimes we have weird inconsistencies between imports. Although 99.9% of the time, the mistake was mine. I just don't know what it is until I know. Okay. That works, but now we have no lights. Oh, we are misaligned. What the? Why do we have two hands? Oh, I know why. It's because it exported the low poly hand as well. Did we close the project? Hold on a sec. No environment. Export. Okay, we did choose visible objects only. It's got to be the export because there's no way the hands would have been included if the Blender exported didn't balls it up. 2.5 megabytes. That's relatively reasonable considering how many animations there are. Oh, that's a lot faster. Yeah, look at that. Okay, it was 2.5 megabytes. Once it exports, let's double check the size then. It's pointless to do so because there's literally shit all we can do about it unless we can quickly learn C++ and go rooting around in the GLTF export format. Okay, maybe not as fast as I thought it would be. Okay, so what do we have for ideas, other ideas of how the player should arrive to the scene? This is one, so they're climbing through the sewer. Second one is utility storage room of a railway tunnel. So they're coming out of a utility room on the side of that. Third one. I think the third one was sliding off of the side of the hill. And then kind of ducking down under some rubble or fencing. Then control is given to the player. They're coming out of that. What's the last one? There are 4 players. Okay. There's the hands rig. Okay, still can't see anything. And I think it might still be the same problem. Oh. No, that's right here. Player global transform. Player line global transform. It could... Oh, we have 2 players. That's why. So it was my fault. Why do we have 2 sets of hands? Oh, it's the blender. Yeah, for sure. It messed up. Not me placing 2 players in one scene. I'm not really supposed to have 2 player objects. There we go. It's still misaligned, but at least now we know. Okay. So let me try this. Place the player. Reset. Reset. Okay, so the player is not quite right. That seems a little weird. That would be correct. So maybe there's a weird animation that kicks in and it causes the player to be offset. But I reckon right now, I think it should align. To be completely honest, the hand armature rig, there we go. The way the camera is moving the hands up and down is a little messed up. It's a little weird. I'm literally just rotating the entire armature around like a pivot node. But it wasn't until later, there we go, that I discovered the better way to do this would be to have an armature bone, and you just rotate that bone to look left and right and up and down. But hey, that's fine. Learning process. That works. Our hand did clip through the door a little bit though. It doesn't clip through here. Hmm. What's the benefit of rotating bone over some kind of pivot? Well, the main benefit is that it's not goofy as shit. So right now, this is what I have. I have rotating helper, and then it's located around where the head is, and then we have the hands rig. So if, you know, this is what happens when you rotate the entire rig, right? Because the pivot point is at the bottom. You could animate the entire character, let's say in Blender, where the center point of the entire scene is going through the back, which means it's going to rotate correctly, but then, you know, then you have to account for it here. Right now, my approach to it is this. I just have a node. Look at this shit. It works. Don't get me wrong. It works. It's just not the most ideal way to do it. Because you have that extra node, and then that means your root bone is all over the place if you ever need to align things to that root bone. So, you know, it works. It's okay. But ideally, you'd want to take your skeleton, you'd want to have like a backbone, and then you want to, you know, rotate. Oh yeah, that's also something that my current armature system isn't accounted to deal with. The fact that I keep the palms separate. It's okay. We'll figure that out later. So, yeah, if you have it, let's say like this. You can rotate the entire thing, and then the arms move together. Right? If you need to look up and down, well, that's same sort of concept. It's just I don't really have a single unifying bone with properly aligned transforms to demonstrate this right now. We'll solve that in the next game. This works for now. Okay. Now. So around 415 is where we have the keyframe to open the lid. So, question is, if I copy this and I go here, this is also 415. I can't paste the keyframes here. Oh, no, I can. Okay, so hypothetically, that should line up. Problem is that practically it doesn't quite line up. Actually, it may or may not be the Godot's import keyframe optimization. It likes to interpolate things and drop keyframes to make the file size smaller, but that could sometimes mess around with the actual animation. Actually, maybe... damn it! I closed Godot. Damn it, son of a... Okay. Well, good thing we can do something while we wait for that thing to open back up again. Let's go... palm. I want to see the palm. In pose mode, preferably. Hey, Vishal. Welcome. Welcome back. Okay, the influence doesn't seem to be disabling itself too soon. Maybe there is a slight misalignment. Oh, damn it. I forgot to select which project to open. Okay. This should be fine. Yet again, we're on the 3-hour mark. When am I going to remember to slice these videos up into 1-hour increments? I don't want to do it in post. Too much work. Okay, there we go. Let's go here. Let's just take the player, place it here. And then, yep, everything is 0, 0. That's good. So, whoops. Oh, okay. Okay, so what's happening here? It looks like the back that is weird. We don't see this sort of movement in Blender. Okay, so we push. Oh, okay. Hold on. Maybe we don't see it because it happens on the subframe level. Which could also just be frame interpolation. Let's see. Hands rig. Root scale. Animations. FPS is 24. But in Blender, FPS is set to 30. But it doesn't seem to matter. Remove immutable. Interesting. I don't see anything related to compression. Unless we have something on the exporting side. Optimize animation. Optimize animation size. Force keep channels for bones. Force keeping channels for objects. Reduce exported file size by removing duplicate keyframes. Well, excuse me. If I have a duplicate keyframe, that means it's a hold frame. Is that the reason? Unless it's talking about duplicate keyframes occupying the same space. Let's see. If that solves it, then we know that's a property we have to watch out for. I think that property is meant for mocap, because you get location rotation data at every single point, at every single keyframe, and we're doing hand animated, which means we're deliberately placing each and every keyframe. Okay, well, that's taken forever. I think once we're done with this, we can wrap it up. All right, moment of truth. That's where I can hear a faint buzzing sound. And it happens every time the processor is running. Or thinking. It's weird. Okay, place the player right there. Well, that's not fun. What changed? I know what changed. The player changed. Yeah, that. What causes this? What causes... What causes the rotation helper to just go up there? Actually, hold on a second. The rotation helper is exactly where it should be. I think that's the armature that ends up moving. Okay. Okay, we're going to place the player, and we're not going to be toggling editable children. I don't think from this point on we have to do that at all, ever. Something happens when we toggle editable children. There we go. Now we got alignment. This is one very particular violent jerk. I want to ease that up. Okay. Moment of truth. Nope. It still phases through the door. Right. Hold on. Import. Animation, import, remove immutable tracks. Trimming, it's the same exact feature set. Remove animation tracks that only contain default values. Reduce output size, memory usage. Yeah. Okay, there's no compression information anywhere here. Oh, optimizer. No optimizer. No compression. So it was on the animation player specifically. Well, let's see if that actually fixes anything. Doubt it, but let's see. Maybe to break up the repetition, we can rotate that sewage pipe. Nope. Okay, it still clips through it. We can rotate the sewage pipe to be a little bit off center, so it's not perfectly parallel. Not now though. Now we'll get other problems. Wait, what? Godot Jolt failed to load due to not supporting Godot 4.3. Oh no. We better not be doing anything physics heavy, I suppose. Well, that sucks. What if it's the hatch? What if it's the hatch animation that's being goofy? Has optimizer on. No compression. I'm going to try something after this. I'm going to try to export the hatch from the hands project and see if the animation there lines up better. Okay. Hide this. Access hatch test. Okay. Now this is weird. This is a very small file. There's almost no animations in here. And yet, it's taken forever. Cool. All right, so let's go here. Okay, go to the access hatch. I'm gonna nuke this thing. Take access hatch test, which is aligned down there. I don't see the alignment point here. I'm going to call it access hatch. I don't actually care about anything else aligning at all. I just need to make sure that it launches the animation, and that's it. Because I want to see if the hatch will open. Okay. Okay, the only thing I do care about is the alignment object. Where is it? Collection? I'm going to copy this. Oh, no, that's going to copy the whole thing. Don't want that. All right, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to place an extra object here. Edit, delete the vertices, paste. Can I not paste vertices? I guess I cannot paste vertices. All right. There we go. Close enough. Plug that in here. Test. Okay. Give it a sec. If it wasn't for the wait time, we'd be making a lot more progress. go. There we go. Okay, that's good. And now I'm just going to go to the level. I'm going to do some quick alignments. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, we didn't crash. Okay, I didn't see it. Okay. It's not very helpful. We have a shortcut for toggling a light, testing light. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Where was it? F5, coincidentally. L, F, K, H. Well, we can open up the journal. That's lovely. Okay. Let me look this up real quick. Dev. Omnilight, F5. Dev Omnilight. There we go. It's not located as a child of the camera, so that's why we didn't see it. We need to make it a part of the camera. So whatever the camera's looking, the Dev Omnilight is going to be there. All right. One more time. There we go. Grab. And we still face through it. Okay. Well, at that point, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea what might be causing it. So, we're going to leave it here. That's it. We'll come back to it at another time. We can kind of work with it for now. I just realized I never saved the brick pattern. Can I bring it back? No, no, too late. Okay. That's a bit unfortunate, but we're gonna have to make this mistake a bunch of times if we want to learn to remember to save the material. Nice. Okay. Well. Oh. I think the normal might actually be flipped. No. No, it's not. Okay. Well, that's fine. We do need to reestablish the animation finish signal. And that's it. Okay. It's not quite right. What else are we missing? Oh, right, the alignment. The alignment is different with this prop. It's not very testing friendly. Okay, that's good. Yeah, okay. We'll figure this out some other time. That's fine. Cool. That's it. Wrap it up. Continue in the next one. Continue tomorrow. Thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate the company. Bye-bye.